the Grandmaster Wizard, is coming for you!
This is Savage Annie with Into the Pit with Seizure. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
We're Seizure, and we'd like to thank Into the Pit with Annie for having us on to promote our EP, Grandmaster Wizard.
I'm Ira Black.
And I'm Joey Love. I am lead guitar and vocals.
Also guitar and vocals.
So let's talk about the EP. How, first and foremost, how was it to work with Dirk on the EP?
So much fun. Megadeth is probably my favorite band. So it was really cool meeting Dirk. Great experience. Very cool guy.
Cool. And what inspired you guys to create this album? Was there like a specific life event that caused you guys to write this, or were you guys just kind of jamming?
People. There's a lot of bands out today that make music, but there's very few bands that make good music. We wanted to make good music. That's that.
I listened to it. That's some thrash-tastic stuff. It got me thinking about
Thank you.
not gonna lie, it got me thinking about Dragon Force. So I listened to a little Dragon Force today because of you guys.
Well, compliment. Great band.
Great band. Okay, so you guys are from San Diego, correct?
We're from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Why does your Facebook page say San Diego?
What's that?
I think your Facebook page says San Diego. I was trying to dig and I couldn't find a whole lot.
No, what it says is it says Los Angeles, but we have some gigs coming up in San Diego, and we've been advertising those.
That's what it was. Okay.
But we'll get into that later.
Sort out. Okay, cool. So you guys recorded the EP with Dirk, and you released it in July of last year. So how has the reception of the EP been with fans?
Pretty positive.
Yeah.
A lot of people like it. You know, and to each their own. You know, we're no better than anybody else. But at the end of the day, people seem to really like it. I think what is really important is that, you know, a lot of people focus on the music, you know, whether or not it's good or not. But another thing that's important to focus on is the lyrics. And some of the lyrics are some heavy shit, you know. You know, one of the songs, Grandmaster Wizard, the title track off the EP, really delves into the dangers of black magic, you know. And our mascot, the Grandmaster Wizard, you know, he really represents evil. He represents the evil that, you know, brainwashes people with technology, you know, the evil that brainwashes people with politics, the evil that brainwashes people, you know, with the occult. You know, it's really all about that. And, you know, at the end of the song, you know, the Grandmaster Wizard reveals that he's the devil, but you could really incorporate or interpret that many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting stuff, you know.
Sweet.
Can I say about it?
Any
And
other
words,
like behind the music excerpts you guys want to go into?
What's that?
Do you want to go into the other two songs on the EP?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to talk about Into the Inferno? He was a big part of writing Into the Inferno. You know, I brought him some riffs and he really put it together.
Yeah, Joey brought me some like very skeleton type riffs, and I just did what I could to make them sound a little bit better. And like, I imagine myself as the audience and what the audience would like, and that's how I wrote the music.
Yeah, it's really important to not only be, a musician, but a fan of music.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people get too involved in themselves, and they don't think about what other people want. That's why a lot of bands have bad albums, because, they think we could do whatever the fuck we want now, and that may be a trap that we fall into one day, God willing, we'll see where everything goes. But, it's really about what the audience wants, and how we could put our own twist on it. And the lyrical themes of Into the Inferno are it's a very metal song. It's about, it was actually written about this video I saw on YouTube. This guy claims he went to hell and came back, but the way he described hell was very different than the way many people describe it. And there's a lyric in the song talking about, there's two doors to choose, because, God doesn't send people to hell. People send themselves to hell. And I thought that was a very interesting concept. And that's kind of what the whole lyrical basis of that song is about. I wanted to write something different. And, I think it's a very interesting concept.
Nice.
Yeah. And the last song is Love After Death, which is partially inspired by the 1930s Mummy movie, featuring Boris Karloff as the Mummy.
Yeah.
But
I actually watched that.
What's that?
It's an awesome movie.
I love all the movies. I love them. But it's also really inspired by just classic love songs and our own twist on it. To us, we don't want to write a song about, falling in love, getting married, having kids. Because, that's something everybody wants. Everybody wants to, most people at least, want to get married and have kids. And, but that's something everybody wants. How about write a song that's about something different? So the song's about a guy that's girlfriend dies, and he tries to bring her back and make love to her. But at the end of the day, it doesn't last long. Because once someone's gone, you just kind of like, done.
It's getting really deep. So are you guys releasing any lyric videos or any additional singles anytime soon?
Well, the EP, do you want to talk about how it became an EP, how we were planning to do an album originally?
I don't remember.
Of course.
Divulge.
Yeah, well, we were actually planning to do an album originally, but due to complications with some people, we ended up having to shorten it to an EP. So we're currently in the process of, writing an album. We have most of the songs written. We just went up into the mountains, very cold place, to write the final song on the album. And we chose to go up in the mountains to do that because we take ourselves very seriously. And, any Dumbo can go into his garage and write a song that's shitty, but it takes dedication to go to an uncomfortable place like the cold mountains where your fingers are going to get cold, where there's one bathroom with multiple guys, and write a song about how you're feeling. So we've been working on that. But, we're planning to release the rest of the songs that were supposed to be on the first album, that were supposed to be on the EP, and we're going to do a full-length album.
Nice. So no lyric videos, no music videos, just the album.
We might do some lyric videos for the EP, but for the album, we plan to do music videos.
Yeah,
Nice.
Music video is in right now, where we've been talking to some filmers to find someone to film our video.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's gonna be pretty sick. So
I assume there's going to be a lot of
what do you
either electricity or fire or smoke somewhere in there.
Well, a lot of the fire and smoke and complexity goes into our live shows. Very important to entertain a crowd. I see a lot of videos where people try and copy other bands live, and it's something I did for a while too. I really wanted to be Dave Mustaine, but you got to decide: do you want to be a copy or do you want to be yourself?
Yeah.
So a lot of our shows incorporate a lot of fog. Because fog is a scary thing. Fog represents the unknown. Fog represents what you don't know. And, especially in the song Into the Inferno, which is very much about unknown themes. We don't know what hell is like. The song's more so about going to hell than it is what hell is about. There's a little bit in the song about, what hell might be described as. But, fog really represents the unknown. and we like to incorporate that into our shows.
Awesome.
You know, among others.
Yeah, you guys have been playing a lot of live shows. So given that your EP is only 3 songs, do you guys do any covers, or do you incorporate other original material that's not yet recorded?
Absolutely not. We don't waste our time with covers. We take ourselves too seriously to play songs that were already written and perfected by other people. We're here to play our own music, not to play music that was written by other people. To us, that's lazy.
And our sets usually consist of some songs that will be on the album and
Of course.
aren't on the EP.
Yeah, we've been testing out a lot of our songs. You know, some of the songs that plan to be on the album are a song called Low Life and a song called Hunting Season. And both songs, you know, are very heavy songs. The album's going to be very much more intense than the EP. And that's something we're going for. You know,
Cool.
people are going to see the album and be like, oh my gosh, that EP was just like a demo.
So if
And I
people
think
wanted to preview live,
fun.
what would the next 3 shows be that they could go to that you guys are
The
playing?
next 3 shows, well, on January 25th, we're playing the Paint Booth in San Diego. In February, I believe it's the, what day is it? 13th, I believe. We were playing the Soma San Diego. Could be wrong. It might be another day. And then on June something or other, we're playing the Whiskey. We just got so much going on right now. It's just really one show at a time. But, you know, people can go to our Instagram, you know, at Seizure_band_official, and they'll see all the flyers for the shows, including pictures that were taken by photographers. You know, we take ourselves pretty seriously.
Yeah, I've seen your show photos, and it's actually really impressive. You know, a lot of bands, they put out the EP first, and then they go and they perform a bunch. But you guys kind of did it kind of a little bit backwards, where you went and performed a bunch, then you did the EP. Now you're still performing, but now you're doing the album. You're not just doing a full album up front. So it's to see that, and the fact that you're not doing any covers, because a lot of the bands here have a tendency to throw a cover or 2 into their set. But then again, this is
Well, do those bands take it seriously, or do those bands just want to please an audience for a night? Those bands want to please an audience for a long time or just for a night? That's how we look at it.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. It depends on the genre. There is a market for cover and tribute bands out here that I don't really think they have in SoCal. But then again, like, I think it does oversaturate the market to where somebody's going to choose to go see a tribute band for a band that they've heard of, rather than go see original music for a band that they don't really know, which I think kind of takes away from the local scene here. I don't know if you guys have to deal with that out there at all.
So lots of cover bands out here. You know, we play with a lot of bands that play covers. And we made a conscious effort not to do covers. That was something Ira and I talked about. Like, let's not do covers. We take ourselves too seriously for that. And, you know, we goof around sometimes, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, we take our music very seriously.
Great. So this
And, you know,
kind of segues into my next question for you guys. And I asked this of a band that's been around for a while in the slam metal and hardcore scene. And it was in regards to, do you feel like radio playability and the lack thereof, specifically for metal, kind of hampers down and bogs down the ability for bands to succeed and market themselves? You know, I know we have a lot of streaming websites and we've got Facebook and all the social media, but do you feel like radio playability is still a pivotal part?
For me personally, I can't speak for Ira, he can answer this, but for me personally, I choose not to be a victim. We will do it our way, and if people don't want to play us, that's fine, but we're not going to be a victim and complain that the reason why we're not getting success is because other people aren't playing our music. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I couldn't say that better.
Yeah, we're not going to be victims of the system, because that's what they want. They want you to be a victim so that you're not.
Yeah, that's good to hear. The band that I asked this previously kind of had the same answer. So it's good to hear younger bands and bands that have kind of been there and gotten to that level of success already, kind of in sync and in the same mindset. that take their music seriously, because the band was
you can learn a lot from us.
Yeah. And you get a lot of inspiration from other people. So what kind of, other than Megadeth, because obviously you're a big Dave Mustaine fan, and you got the hair for it, by the way. But what other bands kind of influenced you guys musically? And then, how did you guys meet and form the band?
Well, some bands that have influenced me personally are the band Heathen from the Bay Area, the band Violence also from the Bay Area.
Great band.
Yep, and Testament also from the Bay Area.
Love Testament. Those are pretty much our big four influences: Megadeth, Testament, Violence, and Heathen.
I just saw Testament in San Jose. They were phenomenal.
Yeah, and in regards to how we formed, there's actually a pretty funny story. I went to so I went through a couple people first. I went through, a friend of mine who I still talk to occasionally, Luke. He's a really good guy. He's a great guitar player, but for many reasons he couldn't hang. So I found a drummer, and the drummer and I kind of practiced a little bit. And he told me, he said, "I know this guitar player who's very good. We should get him to play with us." So we called him up. We scheduled a rehearsal. And I remember getting there and waiting 3 fucking hours for this asshole to show up. 3 hours late. By the time he got there, we had about an hour to rehearse. And he brought a friend with him. A friend who, we love his friend. His friend is great, but, he's like, "Hey guys, I'm late, 3 hours late, and I'm bringing a friend." I remember after he left, I looked at the drummer. I don't know if I've told you this, but I looked at the drummer and I said, "I don't think that guy can hang." But lo and behold, him and I are like peas in a pod in a sense where him and I stayed and everybody else just left.
Aww.
That was a big part of the EP, is that him and I had to recruit Dirk because we didn't have a drummer at the time. Our drummer kind of, he couldn't hang. That's the nice way to say it. But he's a good guy. He helped us out with some of our first gigs. Our first gig ever was terrible though. Our first gig was fucking disgusting. Do you want to talk about our blues? This guy knows music theory and I don't, but we did a blues improv and I was the one that did the solo and it was awful. That was our first show. We ran out of songs to play and the lady was like, "Okay, 5 more minutes." And we're like, "Oh shit, 5 minutes? We don't have 5 minutes. We're done." She's like, "No, 5 minutes." You're like, "Okay." Dun, 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 dun. Stupid
You
shit
didn't
like
get
that.
booed off stage or anything, right? Nobody threw a beer bottle at you?
Oh, no.
No. And if people were to throw beer bottles at us, we'd drink the beer and throw it back.
Okay. Just like, no. You're like the epitome of a Chuck Norris joke right now.
No. If you're going to throw alcohol at us, it better be the hard.
Throw it back. I don't do push-ups. I push the world down. Okay, cool. So do you guys have any pre-show rituals that you do before a live show, or like after show rituals? Must have food right after or right before?
I must have booze?
Must have food.
No.
I mean, booze could also
food.
Play into this, I suppose.
Food. Maybe booze, but food, no. No, we don't like to rely on substances, to fuel our energy. It all needs to come naturally, A lot of people get loaded before they go on stage, and we've seen bands that do that, and they're just not as tight as they could be.
Nope.
Because they're too busy trying to live the life of a rock star rather than live the life as a musician. And, it's two very different things. But for pre-show rituals, we listen to all sorts of music, Yeah. Like, what are some of the songs that we listen to?
We will always almost listen to Eternal Nightmare by Violence before a show.
Yeah. We'll listen to some Megadeth. We actually tend to listen to some of Megadeth's slower songs before a show. We also listen to stuff that's not necessarily metal sometimes. I like to listen to classical music. One of my favorite bands is Kiss. I like to watch Kiss perform because, Kiss brought a lot of new things to stage performances, and it's really inspiring. You know, it makes you think, what can I bring that's new, instead of just copying it. And then after show rituals, we hug it out, tell each other, you know, we love each other, and then we go home and fuck off for a day, and then we come back and rehearse.
Nice.
And that's that.
Nice.
But it's very rewarding.
I don't have any other questions, so you guys can kind of plug whatever you want to plug.
Yeah, well, we'll plug our Instagram. We're at Instagram at Seizure_band_official. That's at Seizure_band_official. We're also on Facebook at Seizure Band. That's at Seizure Band. And, you know, you can find us on Spotify. Just look up Seizure, Grandmaster Wizard. Also on iTunes, Anghami, Pandora, YouTube, RedTube. Also.
Oh, now we're getting into the fun stuff. Everybody search for them on RedTube.
Show.
Except for if you're under 18, don't search for them on RedTube. Ask your parents for permission first. Pretty sure.
No, search on Red. Don't give a shit. Well, if it's okay, we'd like to talk about, you know, how much we appreciate the fans and how rewarding it is to play on stage. You know, it's really a thrill. It's one thing to be in a mosh pit, but when you're playing and you see a mosh pit, it's a very rewarding experience, you know. You know, I don't know about you, but I really enjoy being on stage. You know?
One of the best feelings ever.
Yeah, I don't think there's a feeling better than being on stage, for the most part.
For the most part. I wouldn't know I have
Yeah.
stage fright, so I'll leave the stage presence and performances all to the bands.
Yeah. No, it's very rewarding being on stage. It's a different feeling. It's kind of a triumphant feeling, you know. I was very self-conscious before playing on stage. I remember one time I tried rapping to my family in the car, and I broke down and cried because I fucked up. And that was in front of the family. So you can imagine how my very first performance, not just with Seizure, I point to him like he's Seizure. He's really, you know, without Seizure, without Ira, there would be no Seizure, you know. And it's really that. You know, you could say without Joey, there'd be no Seizure. And I guess that's true, but, you know, I think Seizure will always be Ira Black and Joey Love, you know. And current lineup hopefully will last for a while. We feel good about it. But, you know, at the end of the day, the bands that are most successful are the bands with two best friends that are super tight. Look at Metallica, you got Lars and James. Look at Megadeth, you got Dave and Dave. Look at Aerosmith, Kiss, bands like that. Van Halen. Pantera. But really, that's really what it comes down to, you know.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Sweet. Anything else, or?
Yeah. Go listen to Seizure, motherfucker. So go check out the Instagram.
Instagram,
And,
Spotify, all of it.
All of it, you know. And we want to thank you, Annie. You know, it was very lovely of you to do this.
Annie.
Much appreciated. Much
Appreciate
appreciated.
you guys giving me the opportunity to interview you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We thank you. And remember, the Grandmaster Wizard is coming for you! We want to thank you, Annie. We really appreciate it. Go check out Seizure on Spotify, Instagram, iTunes, RedTube, XTube, YouTube, everything. We're out there. And go check us out in local towns and support not just local music, but support good music.
Exactly. All right, Hit Nation, this is Savage Annie. That's Seizure. We're out.
Fuck yeah.